Hi, my name is Cam Smith with U Sports Production, coming to you from Hollywood Park in Victoria, BC, and thank you for tuning in. Well, we're at the Minors Provincials, and we're at T4, which is, we got a good matchup here. This is Trout Lake coming off of a big win, and Little Mountain looking for their first. Little Mountain's been in every game. They just couldn't get off the side. They need a breakout game here, and Trout Lake wants to build off their first win of the tournament and see where they can go from there. Yeah, let's get this party started. Play ball. And top of the first inning, and Dixon is on first. And that's Reed, and Reed's gonna hit this ball, and that's gonna go right up the middle. That's a nice hit. We got runners at first and second early on in the ball game. And that's going to bring up Penner to the plate. And the pitch, and Penner is going to hit this off the way. Warrior picks it up and is going to go to second, but nobody's there. And that's going to load the bases up early in this ball game. And the next batter is going to be Gentile at the plate. And the pitch by Brewster. Gentile. Oh, this ball is dangerous. Oh, they home. Oh, and it looks like his foot's off the bag. And that is going to score a run. And then Brewster's going to walk the next batter. We got the bases loaded. And Eisen's going to pop this ball up and getting called off right there. And that's going to be for the second out of the inning. That's a nice play at short. And then looks like we got another walk. And things still unraveling for Trout Lake. And there's a nice hit. That's going to go right up the middle. And that's another run's going to come in, and he's going to be safe. And things are just kind of chaotic at the start of this game. And things would continue to go south here as nothing seems to go right for Trout Lake at the beginning in this first inning. And that's just sometimes how it goes. Another run in to score. And that was just a runner at second. Has popped up, and Brewster's going to take that himself. That'll find to retire the side. 4 runs in and 6 runs in on the inning. And what a start there for Little Mountain. Played a little bit of small ball, doing a good job. And Jeff Goat on the mound, and that's a nice pitch, and that'll be picked up by Dixon. Oh, it gets away from him. Oh, what a play by Campbell right there. Just keeping that hit. Doing a great job bringing the ball down, getting his foot on the bag. And that'll bring up Rakahara. And the pitch by Brewster, and that gets him on the elbow, and he's going to head over to first. Trout Lake with a runner on, and then Lunt steps up to the plate. He's going to strike out on a nice pitch right there from Brewster. And then Brewster with 2 outs and a man on. And Brewster, oh, he throws a nice pitch inside, curveball, and that is picked up by Campbell, and that's the third out of the inning. Retiring the side, still 6-0. Heading to the top of the second. And next batter is Benz, and that's pitched by Brewster. And that's going to be picked up nicely, but it's fired just out of the reach of Lunt. And then coming into second is Bands. And then that's Brewster, nice pitch. Contact on the ball, but that's picked up nicely right there by the shortstop, but it's a little bit too high, and run will score. And then Brewster out of the stretch, and that's going right over to Warrior, throws over to second, and he'll get the out. And that's a great job right there. And that'll do it for the inning, but another run in, 7-0 for Little Mountain. And now Jeff Goat in the bottom of the second, and he's facing the leadoff batter. He's going to walk him, putting a runner at first for Trout Lake. And then Jeff Goat looking to mitigate his damage here. And Jeff Goat with a nice pitch, but that is picked up nicely. Shortstop, they're going to turn 2, but they got the lead runner, which is a great play. And then here's the pitch, and he's got to turn on that. It goes right back over. That's Dixon, and Dixon Doesn't get the man at second, so we got first and second. And Trout Lake seems to have something going here. And Jeff Goat out of the stretch, and he throws a nice pitch, and that's for the strikeout. And that is a beauty right there. That's for the second out of the inning. And then Jeff Goat facing the Orier, and with the pitch, that's another strikeout. Jeff Goat with 2 Ks in the inning, and that's a great job there. And 7-0 heading to the bottom half or top of the third inning. And we head to the top of the third inning, and Gentile at the plate, and he hits a little squibber, and that goes right over to Orier, and he throws over to first, and that's for the first out of the inning. And that's going to bring up Campbell, and Campbell, he's going to get a walk on this. He's free pass over to first, and then the pitch, and that is popped up. And it will just fall down, but what an alert play, getting it over to second, and that's getting the lead runner. And now pitching change, and that's Fraser's going to come into the ball game. And then Fraser, he's going to throw the pitch, nice curveball, and it's going to be picked up. And nice throw over to first in time for the out, and that'll retire the side. And that's a good job by Trout Lake. And we're going to head to the bottom of the third inning. And Jeff Goat with a great pitch right down the pipe. That's for the strikeout. Nice job by Jeff Goat. And that's going to bring up Kidney Boy. And Kidney Boy is going to take the walk. And then Jeff Goat, the next batter. That's 2 walks in a row. And as Jax J just trots down to first. And then Jeff Goat looking to stop the bleeding here. And that's picked up. That's Sasha, and throws it over to first. And what a play. And that's a double play, and you got to love that. That's a fantastic play by Trout Lake right there. And getting a job done. And that will retire the side. And Little Mountain's turn. That's a sharply hit grounder. Well, picking that up is Orier, but he can't get over to first in time, and that puts a runner on base. And then Fraser. Yeah, with Eisen at the plate. Fraser with the pitch, and Eisen, turns on that nicely, but picking it up. The shortstop over second, and that'll be for 1 out. Defense doing a good job right here for this Trout Lake team. And then Fraser with the pitch, and then he's going to hit the batter, and that's going to put a runner at first and second. And Fraser with runners at first and second, he's going to miss that, or he picks it up. It's going to be safe all the way around. We got the bases loaded right now. And then Fraser out of the stretch. And Fraser with the pitch, and that's going to be hit. What a catch right there. That is a fantastic catch by Comet Sodi, and tries to get the runner at third, but that's a little bit too late. But a runner's going to score. And then Fraser still with the bases loaded. And a run in, and Fraser, the ball's going to get away from the catcher, and Eisen's going to score, and that's going to put another one on the board for this Little Mountain squad. And then Fraser runners at second and third with the pitch, and this is pounded. And it's picked up nicely though on the fly. Yeah, that's Griffith with a great catch. And end the inning right there, as it's 8-1 now for Little Mountain. And then Jeff Goat still on the mound. And he's going to walk the first batter. And then Jeff Goat Lunt to the plate. And Lunt's going to hit a bouncer. And that's going to make its way through the infield. And runner was a lot of legs right there. He's going to go right over to third. We got runners at second and third. And what a job right there. That's some good base running by this squad out of Trout Lake. And And Jeffcoat with the pitch, and that's another bouncer, and it goes right back to Jeffcoat over to first in time. Try to get him at home, and they don't. One run will score. And Jeffcoat try to do everything he can, and I'll let Trout Lake back in this ball game. And there's the pitch, and this ball is hit decent. Oh, and just about to catch is Dixon, but just didn't make it. We're going to have runners at the corners. And now Jeffcoat with the pitch. And going the opposite way, that is going to score a run. And that is going a long ways. Runner from first, heading to third. And they're going to hold him up at third. And then Fraser ducks on the pond, that corner. Like it says, oh, and that's a nice hit. And that's it over to Dixon, over to first. In time, but a runner will score. And Trout Lake making the most of their opportunities. They're creeping back in this 8-4. And with a runner at second, Jeffcoat. Oh, what a pitch. This is caught. This goes straight up in the air. Butterworth read this all the way. What a job taking care of, and that retires aside. And we've got ourselves an 8-4 ball game. And we head to the top of the fifth inning. And that's Fraser. Fraser with the pitch. That's going to go outside. And he's going to walk the first batter that he faces. And then Fraser's going to throw a nice curveball. That is popped up. And that is for the out right there. And still a runner at first. But one out in the inning. And then Fraser with the pitch. Oh, and this is ripped. And that's going to go out to right field. Oh, it just about gets a runner, but the runner is safe. There's runners at the corner right now for Little Mountain. And then Fraser with the delivery. He'll get behind the runner. And we've got runners. Oh, and runner comes in and slides under the tag. That's a beautiful play right there. Aggressive base running by Little Mountain. And runners on the corner once again. And Little Mountain threatening. Score is 9-4. And Fraser delivers. This ball is hit hard. And that goes right over to shortstop. Oh, so someone's going home right here. And Little Mountain is going to put another one on the board, make it a 10-4 right now. And just keep on pounding in the runs. And then another well-hit ball, but this is taken by third baseman over to first. And that will retire the side, but not before Middle Mountain just pads on some more runs in this 10-4 ball game. And Campbell in relief. And that's Warrior pitch it. And that's going to fall down. That's for a base hit. And that's a nice piece of hitting right there, getting the ball on the bat. And then Campbell with the pitch. He catches the outside corner with a beauty. And that is for the strikeout. And then he's going to put one up and away. And little runner's going to make it up to first. And Campbell again. He rears back. And he fires it. And that's a swing and a miss. And that's for an out for Campbell. And then Campbell out of stretch. He throws it again. And that's just going to make its way back up. And that's just a dead ball and dead man's territory. That's Trout Lake. It's their last kick at the can. And then Campbell rears back, throws the pitch. And that's for the strikeout. And that is your game right there. And, you know, you got to love this 10-4. What a game for Little Mountain. You knew they were going to break out, and they finally did. They've had some tough games, but they played some good opponents. And, you know, unfortunately, sometimes that's the way it goes, but they're back in the mix, and tables are turning all over this tournament. It's anybody's ball game, and you got to love it. We caught up for Campbell for his thoughts on the game.
So you're just looking at me and camera?
Okay.
Kicks a big day today. You played awesome. Tell me about that. You guys getting out on the field today and getting a W.
It feels good, yeah, because last so games we lost every one. This one I think we played really well, and our pitching was top tier.
You guys have been close in every game. Like you guys have been there the whole time, and it's just it was time for you to break out.
Yeah, it really was. Yeah.
And tell me about that. You're right back in the mix now. So tell me about that feeling coming out with the win, and now you're back in the mix.
It feels good. Yeah, competition. Well, we have to win our next game, but I'm excited. Yeah.
Awesome. Lastly, tell me about your teammates there, how they are, and being over in provincial with them.
It's awesome. Yeah, they're really supportive and they're just great teammates.